Well, it seems Amazon wants to follow in Google Stadia's footsteps by announcing their new cloud gaming service known as Luna. I've been very critical on this channel regarding Google Stadia for a plethora of reasons, primarily because I don't like to rent things, I want to own them. And the fact that Google Stadia forces you to buy games through a service that you are paying a subscription for, which is then gated if you don't pay for the subscription itself, seems very nonsensical. On the AV side of things, so to speak, I think streaming technology as a whole is nowhere near the fidelity from your own personal computer or PlayStation or Xbox or what have you. I've tested Google Stadia numerous times and I found the image quality to be severely lacking. A lot of the promises that were made for 4K gaming and 60 frames per second just didn't quite pan out. And on the back of all that and the amount of money that Google Stadia has to be losing, the complete lack of interest in this, Amazon decides, hey, we're going to jump into this market too. And here we are. The Amazon Luna has been announced. Now, this article comes, this post I'm reading here comes from The Verge. I'll post a link to this article in the description below if you want to read it. But basically, they talk a lot about the Amazon Luna. They talk about the controller. They talk about some of the games that are coming out. A couple of things that I thought were worth mentioning. One, if you own an iOS like I do, and you're trying to get this as a native app on your Apple device, you are going to be unsuccessful. It's going to run via a web browser inside your phone, which sounds horrible. I understand it's to circumvent all the nonsense that Epic stirred up with Apple, but unfortunately, this is the way it has to be. So there's not going to be a native app. I think as a result, this is going to run like complete garbage on iPhone. And honestly, in case anyone forgot, we are in the middle of, hopefully in the middle, maybe towards the end at this point, of a worldwide pandemic, which has basically forced most of us to stay home. So, a streaming service that allows you to go anywhere whenever you want to stream seems really stupid because there's nowhere to go. You're going to be home, but whatever. Anyways, so it's going to run right now as an introductory price of $5.99 a month, which will give you a handful of games to play and up to 4K 60. I know that's not going to happen. You know that's not going to happen. Look no further than Google Stadia for that promise. For select titles. What are these select titles? Nobody knows. Later on, it's going to increase, and it sounds like they're going to be adding these channels to it. So they have this thing that they're calling the Luna Plus channel, which is going to include such wonderful games like Resident Evil 7, which everybody played about 5 years ago when it came out. Control, which, okay, it's garnered some interest, particularly because of the recent remaster controversy. It would be exciting to play that. I have yet to play that game, by the way. Panzer Dragoon, A Plague Tale Innocence, The Surge 2, Ukulele Grid, Abzu, and Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, which I feel like that launched on PlayStation 3. Amazon says more titles will be added over time, and they are going to be partnering with Ubisoft for another channel. So that seems to be the buzzword of this particular device, these channels. You can see a little bit of that here in the screenshot where you have the game. This is Control. You can see very faintly in the background the V for the Control logo, that triangle looking thing. It's got trailers and screenshots. It's got streams of people currently playing the game and more games related to that company. And I assume that each of these channels will kind of, have certain content blocks to them. They also said that they will be incorporating some sort of Twitch streaming so that you can stream as well. There's no word yet on the camera component of that. I would suspect it'll be one of the handy dandy Alexa devices that has a camera enabled, but remains to be seen. They said they're going to probably work that out later. Additionally, if you want to use their controller, you can use just any old Bluetooth controller. You could use your good old keyboard and mouse, or you could buy the Switch Pro. I'm sorry, the Amazon Luna controller, which is exactly a Switch Pro controller, except purple. Which honestly, I don't have too much of an objection with. It's funny that controller designs have pretty much come to this. PlayStation now being the only non-split axis controller on the market. I think it's kind of humorous that everybody has gravitated to this design and they keep putting a spin on it. I don't know why they don't just partner with Xbox. Everybody's got these things laying around their house at this point. Let us use an old 360 controller or an Xbox One controller. I don't understand why you feel the need to make your own hardware, which is a total carbon copy of every piece of hardware out there. But this just goes to show you how little this thought has gone into this product and why I know, and mark my words, this thing's going to fail. Anyways, so you can go ahead and pick it up. You can play it on your PC, your Fire TV, Macintosh via the browser. It's going to have direct applications for Android, and they're going to continue to expand. A little bit more on their official page here. You can sign up for early access if you want, which I did. I would love to beta test this for you guys and tell you my thoughts on it. You can see in the background a splash of some of the titles that may be coming eventually. Blazing Chrome would be a fun one to play. That's relatively new. Control, which has been featured prominently. And then you see a smattering of these Ubisoft titles. And we scroll down and it says Ubisoft coming soon. So this is going to be some variant of Uplay Plus. We've seen Uplay Plus and Google Stadia starting to merge together. It says coming in 2020. I suspect this will probably be the same thing. Whatever package they negotiate with one, they'll probably do with the other. Now, Uplay Plus includes all the Ubisoft titles from the beginning of time to present. This variant of it will probably include just some specific games. I would be surprised if they included the entire library. I could be wrong, but I have a feeling they're going to probably focus on the newer stuff. And it's probably going to be a reduced price to try to help out. It'd be very odd for you to pay for Luna Plus, which turns out to be, I don't know, what, $8 or $9 a month, and then pay that exact same amount again for an Ubisoft gaming service, which is currently $9.99 a month, at least here in the United States of America. I can't imagine they would want to do that. So if you're interested, hey, you know what? More power to you. If you feel the need to skip out on these amazing consoles that are basically going to take over our lives here in a couple months, or you don't want to jump into the previous generation of consoles, which honestly are pretty damn good, you could probably get it at a very reduced rate right now, and you would rather stream everything on your little tiny cell phone, look no further than this, yet another service. I would caution you, if you're really excited about this, go try Stadia for a couple weeks and make sure you understand what the limitations of the service are, because there are a lot. I am not a big fan. But with that, I close out the video. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.